Okay, we're live, girl. All right. So as everybody kind of stroll on in here, the notification should be going out pretty darn soon. You know how YouTube have like a little bit of a lag time.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting for mine.
Okay.
It's taking a second.
Mm-hmm.
It actually wasn't a bad week for soaps. I think Bold probably ended on a higher note out of all three of the soaps, in my opinion.
Yeah. And especially since it looked like we got another storyline coming in. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
With this situation with Liam, and there's a lot of speculations. Hey Joyce, I know if the notification goes out, they will come. And especially, there's a lot of people speculate. I know I decided I want to talk to you guys a little bit sooner. Yes, Melissa, I know it was supposed to be Monday, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and see what y'all doing on a Sunday evening. What's up, Sammy? What's going on? So I'm glad you guys were able to come on in here on a Sunday evening. Y'all probably was like, there's nothing to do but to sit around and wait to start work tomorrow. And it's like, nah, let me go
Yeah.
ahead and got my girl Bree on the line, and we going to talk soaps and talk about last week. So we don't have
Hi,
to wait till,
everybody.
yeah, we don't have to wait till Monday.
I see all the usual suspects: Dewan, Indigo Blue, Rosie Player, Crystal Rowe, Joyce, Melinda Pierce. It's just Myra, Melissa Smith. All of them are here. I knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we got a lot to talk about. I mean, all three soaps, like you said, Bree. Hey, TA, what's going on, TA? All of the soaps last week were pretty darn good. Like you said, Bold kind of ended on a higher note, especially with the
Mm-hmm.
cliffhanger with what's going down with Liam. But, I know there was a lot of speculation about, oh my God, is Scott Clifton leaving? No, I don't see him. I think this is just a new direction with a different storyline.
Yeah.
Yep.
But missed his acting though. My goodness.
Yeah,
This man has won how many daytime Emmys, and we see why.
He's a great actor.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, he had a lot of time off. We haven't really seen Liam. He popped in and out for different things. But we really hadn't seen Scott Clifton consistently. Gosh.
Since the divorce.
Since the divorce, yeah, and the whole thing with him trying to get with Steffi, and when she left or took the time to have her baby back in 2023, then he disappeared too.
Yeah, and hasn't been consistent. But hey, he reminded us, like, hey, Scott Clifton is here.
So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. So, how many people we got in the chat, girl?
Let's see. We got 28 in the chat, but let's get the likes up, guys. I see 8 likes.
Oh, God, that's it? How y'all gonna get a surprise notification? Come in here all excited and not hit the like button on the way in. Hit the like button, you guys. Pretty
Pretty please.
please. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get this show started. It's about 8 minutes after the hour. And I know on a typical Friday night, we probably would do, like we do almost 2.5 hours. We're going to try to, because we do know people do have to go to work tomorrow morning. And so, it was either Monday night or Sunday night. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just do a Sunday even. Maybe everybody didn't ate Sunday dinner and they sitting back just like, I'm full. What can I do now? Okay, we're going to talk soaps.
Yep. So we end our week on a high note leading into Monday.
Exactly. All right. So, without any further ado, if you are new here, welcome to Soap Corner Talk, where myself, T, I got my girl Bree. We do have other co-hosts on the show. Obviously, Keish. She couldn't be with us. Jay, he usually will pop in the chat. And then sometime you might hear him if I do a show earlier in the day. And then, of course, Trish is still around. She's still, she's still around. She still talks soaps, but, it's a process when you're going through grief. So she will be back when she is ready. But, we're always sending shout outs to Miss Trishy girl.
Yeah.
All right. So, again, if you are new here, we do Young and the Restless first. We do Bold and Beautiful. We do Beyond the Gates in that order. Then we have segments at the end. Flip the script. Who's taking several seeds? Star of the week, pickle of the week, and the Simp Olympics. And yes, I have a person with an award for the Simp Olympics for this past week. Yes, I do.
There's a couple of them, actually.
Okay. I'm definitely can't wait to see what you got too, girl.
It's like one on each show.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, girl. Oh my gosh. All right. So without any other further ado, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. We're going to talk about the Young and the Restless. And I mean, we had I know I've only got like the 5 photos and the collage on the screen. However, I know there was quite a few storylines going on this week, so we're going to talk about it. I mean, we had this whole thing. So, Bree, we had the situation where Claire was pretty much not so happy about the fact that I guess Kyle was throwing shots at Victor, knowing Victor was intentionally ignoring him talking to her, and he's throwing shots at Kyle, and Kyle responded. What did you think about that?
She need to get over herself. This is the dynamic she's just gonna have to deal with.
Yep.
She wants Kyle. Victor's gonna be who he is, and she's just gonna have to get used to that.
Yep. I totally agree. It's like, girl, why are you trying to force this thing? You were in the middle of a family dynamic that existed well before you existed. This goes way back before Kyle existed. And for you to figure out that you're going to broker peace between Kyle and Victor, or even Victor and Jack, girl, no, it's not going to happen. Your grandmother tried to tell you, your mother tried to tell you, and then you get mad at Kyle for trying to, I guess, what's the word I want to use? Aggravate Victor. It's like Victor is the one that's the problem.
Yeah, and he's going to continue to be a problem until you guys break up. So, girl, you might as well deal with it. If Kyle is not fazed and he says that, he's for her and for the relationship, nothing's going to break them apart, then she kind of needs to jump on that tangent. But for whatever reason, well, actually, I know the reason. She wants the same consideration from Victor that he gave Summer when she was with Kyle.
No, well, that's what she get. You signed up with somebody that is clearly in the midst of a war. And yet you want the same consideration that Summer had 10,000 years ago. I mean, honestly, even though he didn't push as hard, but I really don't think Victor wanted Summer with Kyle then. He might have tolerated it.
Yeah. I think that's the best word for it, is tolerate, especially since they share a kid together. Yes, I know that Summer's not the biological mother, but she was helping raising that kid. And she's legally that child's mother. So it's easier to tolerate when there's children. And then you have Claire, who was underneath Jordan's thumb and doing all these evil things and trying to get herself on better footing. She's never had a relationship, never experiencing all these different things. I mean, we were talking about her all last year about how she wanted to go ride the ponies, and she's never been a little girl before, never had Brussels sprouts before. So she's green to a lot of different things, and she's being paired with this man who has divorces underneath his belt and a child.
Mm-hmm.
So she can't even compare herself to Summer at all.
What she need to do is just enjoy the relationship. Now, I mean, obviously Victor's going to do what Victor's going to do, but her confronting her grandfather and trying to push this whole thing, she's only bringing a bullseye and a spotlight onto her relationship. Just move how you've been moving. You don't have to keep going in Victor's face talking about please accept and approve my relationship. He's not going to do it.
And he's your grandfather, not your father.
Right.
Like, that should be the bigger concern. Does my dad accept this? And seems like both mom and dad approve. So why are you so gung-ho about Victor giving you the approval unless you want to have exactly what Summer had?
Yeah, and that's probably, you know what, Bree, you are probably absolutely right. If you can give Summer no problems, you should be able to give me no problems. Well, you don't know how whole dynamic of that whole thing. And why would you want your relationship to be like hers? They were toxic. Right. Summer was a wild child. Of course, Hunter King was the actress at that time.
Yeah, well, you know, as Just Myra pointed out, Summer confessed that this didn't work for her, the Kyle and Claire thing. She actually blurted it out of her mouth.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Monday's episode, so that is a spoiler alert for you guys. So, you know, if you haven't seen the Monday episode, then yeah, I guess that's what both Bree and Myra is referring to. Yeah, I know that was part of the spoiler because I saw the spoiler about Summer giving Chance some closure. So I didn't know if they were breaking up or the whole thing. So again, I have to get a chance to check it out. But
it'll be clear tomorrow, I promise. And I want to get your thoughts on the end of the episode too.
Okay, I gotta check it out, and I will definitely let you know. Yeah, but if it, you know, in my opinion, I think Claire just needs to enjoy her relationship, stay out the way. Let Victor, right now, he's watching Dumas, he's watching Jack, and watching Billy. Why put yourself in the limelight?
Right. Exactly. I agree with that. But she just has to have it her way. She just has to, like a needy little girl.
Girl, it's like,
so she got some growing up to do.
You done lost your V card. Obviously, you enjoying the intimacy. Kyle is into you. He's not even into Summer. Summer shouldn't even be on your radar. Summer is the one that got the issue. Summer and Victor. Let them spin their wheels. You just go enjoy your relationship with Kyle.
Yeah. How long that's gonna last? I don't know.
No, I guess
especially after Monday's episode.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So other things that went on Monday's episode was the fact that Damien was insulted by Lily's insinuations, and I would be too. But hold on, before I move on to that, we also had Jack giving Victoria that message because the two of them tried to come together, protect them too, Kyle and Claire, and it's like, y'all wouldn't even be in this situation if Claire would just go somewhere and take several seats with her relationship.
Yeah. I didn't like the way that she was talking about Summer to Claire. Cause I'm like, that's still your niece. You know? And plus, if Nick was there, she would have kept her mouth shut. And I'm like, she likes, her children can do no wrong, apparently. She kind of painted Summer as if she was like this evil villain because she's Phyllis's daughter. I'm like, you produced a child who almost tried to unalive you and the whole family. So she's lucky she even has the redemption that she has. But, and on top of that, Claire is going to have to deal with Summer because Summer is that boy's mother. So.
Yeah, they're going to be intertwined for a while.
So tell your daughter that that's something that she's just going to have to deal with.
Exactly. So she can, I mean, you signed up for this, ma'am. You're going to have to
And
deal
now
with
Kyle
it.
wants to move in with her or wants her to move in with them or something like that. They said last week.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know. That's a mess. But I'm ready to talk about this whole thing. She got on my nerves last week. Oh my God, she got on my nerves. I was so proud of Nate. Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
actually, after everything that has happened, you got Amy upstairs in stage 4. She finally got this relationship back on track with Damien. Damien is getting comfortable with trying to build a relationship with Nate. And because you listen to stupid Victor Newman, who clearly lied, which she did not pay attention to the back pedal, and I'll break that down in a minute. You're going to tell Nate, I think you need to back away from this. It's like, excuse me? Her and Devon.
Oh, my goodness. This girl had the nerve to say that she trusts Victor even after being played herself. I could understand Devon because Victor will always be Mr. Newman to him.
And plus, he
that's
is
just not going to
married
change.
to his daughter.
Yeah, it's just not going to change for Devon. But Lily, you were just played to the point where you didn't even want to show up to your brother's wedding because you didn't want to be seen with Victor.
Yeah.
And now you going back and forth, having tea and talking, and it's like, are you sure? Are you correct? And he's just, all you have to do is just say yes. You're not even trying to get any proof.
Yeah,
But you
and
want
she was
Damien to
protecting
provide
him.
proof?
The only reason that they thought end up thinking it was Victor is because Nate put 2 and 2 together. When they ask where you get your information from, it doesn't matter. It's credible. Are you serious?
This the same credibility that he promised you that you would have a job over at Chancellor.
Girl,
you still trusting that? I'm just saying, this is just ridiculous. You want this man to prove such and such to you. You don't know this man. He doesn't know you. He does not owe you anything.
No. And she's trying to protect the family and the company. You weren't even thinking about Winters up until Victor kicked your butt to the curb. The same man you get incredible information from.
Yeah, exactly. It was the last thing on her list was to go work for her family company. It took, after she went to go see her kids, like, oh, you know what? I guess I can work for you guys.
Right.
I'm like, and this is why I hate when Devon just throws this girl a bone, like she doesn't even deserve it. And then she has no respect for Nate because he told her to drop it.
Right.
And let him figure out the relationship with him and his brother.
Yep.
Had nothing to do with her.
And Damien is swearing up and down. The only time that I looked into the family is after y'all made up this ridiculous story about a job and reached out to me.
And not to mention, Amy reached out to the Winters.
Exactly.
Reached out to Nate to look for him. So he wasn't even concerned about his own mother, let alone the Winters.
Thank you. Why would he even go through all of that and say, oh, wow, my mom is over at the Winters? He didn't even want to come there. He sent Holden in his place to go and see what it was all about. If he really wanted to, oh, wow, let's see what's going on with the Winters company and blah, 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 3 months prior. And see, this is why she wasn't even paying attention. She could have caught Victor up in that lie because he backpedaled. He turned around and said 2 things can be true at the same time. And I'm like, but wait a minute. So was he telling the truth or was he wasn't? Because you said it was 3 months and now you're saying, well, maybe Damien was right. She didn't even call him out on the backpedal.
At all. But she quick to go run with information. She went over to Nate's place and said, like, hey, well, maybe Damien might be telling the truth. Maybe Aristotle might be feeding him wrong information. That's what Damien just told you.
Duh.
And then you're not even trying to fact check Victor and his resources, but you want Damien to provide his as if he owes you something.
Girl, she thinking by him giving her this information, that's his way of making amends. And Nate was like, Victor, make amends? He does everything for his own self-serving purposes.
I think even Audra said that.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday's episode.
Girl, and then seeing the previews for next week with a job and trying to one-up Kyle, I don't want to hear nothing she got to say either.
Oh, that's why I need for you to let me know what you think about Monday's episode.
Yeah.
Because it's not what you're thinking.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But go ahead.
But it's just the fact that you were just played and you want to make amends with this man, but you don't want to give the benefit of the doubt to your cousin's brother, and it's his business.
Mm-hmm.
And who he works for, how he gets his check has nothing to do with you.
Exactly. And the fact of, I need you to tell me who Aristotle is. He was like, I ain't doing that.
Right. And I got to give it to Damien. He is not shaken, not like nothing. You are not going to chin check me over nothing. It is what it is. I said what I said. Deal with it. Love that from Damien.
Yeah, because I mean, he did say, well, whatever you need me to do to prove this, do this. Okay, you want to prove, that, because that ain't going to mean anything, because you're going to move the goalpost, and then you're going to be like, well, what about this?
And I'm like, you put this man through so many loops and bounds, but you didn't make Kane go through this. You didn't make Daniel go through this.
Billy.
Who else? Bill. As many times as Billy played her, cheated on. Oh, girl. She can really miss me with that. We had such a nice little recipe for some hot romance for Lily, and she just ruined it.
Oh, Lord, girl, when he came into society and what happened, I was like, oh, man, okay. I'm excited about this. Only to ruin this by digging into this man's business and being accusatory. If I was Damien, I'd be like, forget it.
Yeah, I hope so. Like, people are online trying to pair him off with somebody else, and that's what I want for him too.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because she deserves to be single. She deserves to get whatever's going to come to her. She's going to deserves to fall flat on her face by Victor again.
Mm-hmm.
But I was very proud of Damien and Nate for standing by his brother.
Yeah, he was like, I don't care what y'all gonna do, but I'm gonna stand by my brother over Victor Newman. I mean, he's been burned twice.
Yeah.
The man almost lost his medical license when he was a doctor over this man. And then Victor set him up to take the fall for him being the person that, was trying to steal my company when he was trying to tell your butt to go to the doctor.
And not to mention, both of Victor's daughters have also played him too.
Exactly. So I don't understand why Lily can't look at that situation and be like, dang, you know what? And especially since you just got played, your daddy got played, which is why he started his own company in the first place.
Thank you, TA. Thank you. They said Lily was all over town talking about Damien, talking to Billy and Phyllis, and then telling Nate all the business too. Like, you can't even keep a secret to yourself, girl. And it's supposed to be private information that affects your cousin that you said you want to protect.
Yeah, speaking of that, do you think Phyllis is going to go and try to do this thing with Billy?
Yeah, because what else is she going to do?
Yeah, girl.
Because as much as she's like griping about this Aristotle Dumont, I think it's going to intrigue her more to figure out who this person is. I'm hoping that might be her new love interest. Who knows? If it's not Billy, it might be this Aristotle person. But she cannot, this is also hypocritical of Phyllis, cannot really judge Billy for trying to get even or, continue a vendetta when vendetta is her middle name.
Girl, you funny. You said Vendetta is her middle name.
Yes, like she always has an axe to grind. I mean, she was even mad that she had to forgive Sharon.
Yeah, that
because she hangs on to so much hurt and anger. That's just who she is. But once again, Billy is offering her job, offering her an opportunity. He let her know what was going on. So he trusts her to a degree. And on top of that, the man saved her. So she might as well just see how everything plays out. But I would assume that she was more worried for Daniel, but she barely even mentioned Daniel. It's about how it's going to affect her.
Girl. Yeah, I mean, and then I guess when she found out about the fact that he's working with this person, she gonna try to go talk to Sally. Now there was a conversation between Cuckoo Chloe and Sally, and they just getting all hot and bothered because of and I mean in an angry way, about the fact that Phyllis is in the middle of this. Oh yeah, she's probably trying to do this. I honestly thought it was a good idea. I mean, let me know if you think differently. For her to go and talk to Sally and say, listen, dude is about to do something stupid. I don't know who this guy is. This man is trying to tap into the company. And Sally is sitting up there trying to play hardball.
And I'm like, for what? And that conversation between Sally and Chloe made them look like hypocrites. Because I'm like, Sally faked a whole terminal illness to try to get pregnant by Wyatt. And then you got Cuckoo Chloe, who got her name because she tried to blow up Adam. So for her, for Chloe particularly, to say that Phyllis is reckless, like you can't trust her, like she's a ticking time bomb. I'm like, girl, you every time we see you in a scene, you shaking, you switching back and forth, like you the ticking time bomb. And not to mention, look at the man that you married and the family you married into.
Girl, please. I'm sitting up there looking at them too, like you say, they're a bunch of hypocrites. And I mean, Phyllis has a good point. I mean, once we did see the conversation between Jack and Billy, right? Billy also did not say 100% about his thing with Aristotle Dumas, which is to go after Chancellor. Because I don't think Jack would have signed that money over to him if he knew exactly what was going on.
Right, I agree.
So, I mean, he's being dishonest. And he's talking about it's just strictly business. No, it's not. You trying to get Chancellor. You trying to right a wrong that you think Victor and your mama did. And Phyllis is trying to tell Sally, like, listen, we need to rein him in. And she's trying to play like, well, he's going to be just fine. This is for him. And I'm like, okay, you know what? You go down that rabbit hole then with him.
She doesn't want to admit that Phyllis was right. And that's just the bottom line. She already had those suspicions of Billy. She was already questioning Billy and trying to warn him. And now that all that talk with Chloe about how reckless she is and that she needs to stay away from Billy. Billy deserves better than this, which I thought was comical. Now Phyllis is telling you the opposite, and now you don't like it because you agree with Phyllis. That's what it boils down to.
Exactly. So, and I mean, at least Phyllis, because normally Phyllis is kind of reckless, like you were saying. And you said she's probably going to go with it, but her first instinct was like, I didn't sign up for this. You told me something else. So I was like, okay, Phyllis, yeah, hold your ground, but I don't think she needs something to do. So more than likely, she's going to go right down that rabbit hole with Billy, thinking that she probably can contain him. And that didn't work before when she tried to be his, support system when Gina had the role with the whole Jabot thing and his gambling and all that type of stuff. So what makes you think you're going and I think probably this is just me speculating. I have a feeling she's gonna go along with Billy just to contain the situation.
Yeah, and plus it keeps her occupied
Mm-hmm.
until the writers write a man for her.
Yeah. So what did you think about? Because on Tuesday they gave Adam and Chelsea and Sally and Billy this whole thing about announcing that they were back together again, and I'm like, who cares?
Right. Like, we haven't seen this before?
The
I
only
could have
person
sworn we
that
see.
cared was Billy because he was pissed.
And I'm like, so you got other stuff to do. Like, sir, like, who cares?
Right.
He got back with another child. Okay. You knew it was coming. You and Sally suspected that they were going to try to make things work or whatever. And plus, you had already moved on months before with Sally.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Mm-hmm. Girl, just craziness. I mean, Billy was going off the deep end trying to tell Chelsea, you're wrong. He forced you into this, and you making a bad decision, and all this kind of stuff. And she was like, dude, I made my decision. I'm grown. You know, hey, I know what I want to do. He changed, whatever she decided to do. But then he took that same anger home and was telling Sally about it. Sally had the opposite conversation with Adam. They was like, okay, I'm moving on. I just want to let you know. And Sally was like, well, all right, cool.
Because what was supposed to happen?
Exactly.
I mean, they just made them. All the parties are aware of what's going on. They just shuffle the deck a little bit. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. I don't know why Billy had a gripe about that. I'm like, sir, go. Mm-hmm. Clearly, Sally doesn't mean that much to you.
Girl, my thing is, I really don't care that much about either of those two couples. It's just, I know, like I say, I gotta give Jay his, because Jay likes Chelsea and Adam together, But it's like, okay, fine, y'all back together, cool. I don't care. And the same thing with Sally and Billy. Every time I see them Sally and Billy, they at that house talking and eating Chinese food or whatever, and it's like, let me just skip through this.
That's kind of the feeling I have when it comes to like Kyle and Claire too, when I watch them on screen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel like they had to add in like all these extra variables with like Summer and Victor just to make them interesting as a couple. That's no offense to the actors, not about the actors, these characters. I just don't care for them like that as a couple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're just absolutely boring. There's no chemistry there for me. It's almost like they tried to put two spicy people together that fizzled out. Because obviously Sally is that feisty redhead, right? And then Billy is the bad boy who is a risk taker. But it just didn't work putting those two together. It works more if you put maybe Adam and Audra together.
There you go. See, that's spicy.
That's spicy. Whereas,
see, Sally, she was spicy, but now she's like, how can I describe
floating through time.
Like the Taco Bell, like mild sauce. Like that's who she is now.
I mean, that's why I was always saying for the last several months they need to put her back on bold. Because I just think she would get a little bit more meat. I mean, with Steffy, Hope, I don't know, obviously, I don't know where they're going with this. Hope gonna have to go somewhere because I don't see Annika going anywhere. But, give Steffy a feisty rival in business.
Could you see Sally and Finn together?
No. Girl.
Yeah. I mean, I because who would she get with?
I mean, I liked her with Liam. I did. I liked Ivy with Liam. I also liked Sally with Liam. But they never completed that one before they moved the girl over to Wyatt.
Yeah. I don't know. They would have to have a really good story. If they bring back writers, whoever, somebody who's listening at CBS, please listen. Bring back Matt Atkinson.
Oh yeah.
If they bring him back, then they need to ship her over to Bold, because I think they would have great chemistry.
Yeah, I agree. I could see that. I could see Thomas as Matt Atkinson being a good match with Courtney Hope as Sally.
Oh yes, and plus she loved them. She'll be just fine with those scenes too. Those love scenes, everything.
Jules say Finn is stupid.
And then Jasmine said Finn is not spicy. Yeah, he's like a Cool Ranch Dorito or something.
Because they have such... Oh my God, we talking bold business. But right quick, and we'll get back over to Y&R. I just think that they have watered him down, and Steffy have a very a very dominant presence in that relationship. It just makes him look weak.
Steffy and Martin are very similar.
Oh, man.
It's the truth. I keep seeing that online, and I can't help it. Whenever I watch Steffy and whenever I watch Martin, I'm like, yeah, they're kind of the same.
Shoot, it look like Deacon is trying to be runner-up right now. It's like,
oh, I cannot wait to get to that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute, because then we'll get into bowl and get lost in the sauce. Okay, and then we had well, they got, okay, because we kind of jumped the gun when we talked a lot about the whole scoop with
Sally thing.
No, not with Damien and them, because Amy was pissed off too when she found out that Lily was sniffing around. She told her to Nate, you need to tell Lily to back off. I'm like, maybe you should tell her yourself.
You know what? That would hit a little bit different versus Nate.
Exactly. Because you messing with my son. I finally got my son back in my life, and you gonna tell us or Nate to stay away from him or to get some distance? Girl, I would love to see Amy go off on Lily about this situation. I know I would. My son.
Yeah. Tell it to that lady's face that you don't trust her son and why, and the fact that your reasoning for going and get a private investigator too.
Yeah. Marcus said don't sleep on the Cool Ranch Doritos, by the
way. Well, Poppy didn't.
Go ahead, girl. But yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I want to see that. I need Amy to tell her off.
It's about time somebody other than Nate to let her know that she needs to stay in her place, because, or better yet, find her something to do. So she's not satisfied with her work. So this is her new hobby, is to get in other people's business, when she could have just had a man. She could have actually gradually learned this information, understand, who he is as a person, because he was opening those doors for her.
Yeah.
But she just had to do it her way.
See, this is the difference between her and Audra. Audra would have used her feminine wiles. Especially if she knew the guy is interested. She would have used her feminine wiles to get the information that she needs. She probably, if Lily was smart, knowing that this man is interested in her, and I'm not saying that she should use him, because technically I hate that they're ruining this for me, writers.
Yeah.
But if she wanted to try to get information out this man, maybe if you got to know him a little bit more intimately, he might would have felt a little comfortable talking to you.
Yeah. I think that it would have... She just, for whatever reason, feels that Victor and his family can do no wrong. And she just like Devon, will trust anything that they would have to say, even though they've been played and wrong so many times. So is their father. So many times. They still going to give Victor the benefit of the doubt. Here's somebody new that she could have got to know. And she could have assessed his situation by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Since she's so invested.
Girl, wait a minute. Who is that? Jasmine said Lily Pooh isn't smart enough to be a Tempur-Pedic.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, that was good. That we got to give her a standing ovation on this. On that statement. I'm like, wow.
Lily Pooh.
Lily Pooh.
Look, that's her new nickname.
Jasmine. That is hilarious. I mean, you can't. You got a man that's clearly interested in you, and you trying to figure him out. Girl, please. The man that offered you dinners on dinners, go sit down somewhere and have a conversation with this man.
Yeah. She ruined that.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag Lily Pooh.
Hashtag Lily Pooh. Oh, man. Girl, that is hilarious. Okay, so that was pretty much on Tuesday. Going into Wednesday. Okay, we kind of talked about the thing where Chloe and all of this. Now, okay, so here we got more Damien. So Damien decided to confront Holden. I don't. That part was interesting because they supposed to be besties.
Yeah, but I understand why he would try to question it. You would question the people that's kind of close to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And Holden has already kind of shown that by him wanting to stay in Genoa City, he had like his own separate agenda.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So anything, I guess, that would kind of leave whatever their original plans were, like in a tangent, he would do anything to stay in Genoa City.
Gotcha.
So if it means feeding Victor information or funneling some form of information to stay, I can see him doing that.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Definitely. Okay, so we talked about Chloe giving Sally advice, Jack signed the paperwork, and that whole confrontation. Let's keep it moving. Okay, so we gotta talk about Tracy. Okay, so and I think I dropped this in the group chat when I was saying Jack actually will go to bat for Nikki more than his own wife. You can't tell your wife that a madman might be coming into the family, but you risk your life for your ex. I don't know. I can't understand that. To me, Diane got questions. Kyle has questions. This man was about to be a part of the family. Why not have an emergency meeting? Because I know Victor would do it, unless he's trying to just do something sneaky on his own. But why not have a conversation with your wife and your son to be like, look, we got to protect Aunt Tracy because, we got questions about Alan. And the two of them are tiptoeing around this situation. And Diane is like, what's going on? Do you not trust me? And they're just like, we ain't saying nothing. Do you think that they should keep that secret from Diane or not?
I don't think, what is it going to hurt? I mean, to have more people looking out. I mean, what happens if Alan/Martin was supposed to come over to the house and like he could be planting something in the house. He could, do something to try to torture the Abbott family. You don't know. Mm-hmm. But the more eyes, the more awareness, the better.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm disappointed in Tracy because I'm like, you don't play the superhero. I think Jack even told her that. Don't play superhero. Like, the more people you have aware who can look out for you, the better. Especially since we know that he's dangerous enough to kidnap Sharon and Phyllis,
right,
who's not even related to the family. So imagine what he could do to your actual family.
And that's the ludicrous part about this whole situation. She talking about we need to contain it. It's already outside of containment when it affected Sharon and Phyllis.
Yeah.
It's already outside of your hands, ma'am.
And now the police are involved. I'm like, you might as well say something.
Yeah, I don't. I'm like, y'all. She wanna. Well, he's gonna get worried. That man ain't stupid. If it's Martin, there is nothing that you could do to manipulate a sociopath or a psychopath. There's nothing you can do. They're gonna eventually either do it their way or they're gonna see through you. You cannot out manipulate a sociopath.
Right. Who's trying to play psychiatrist? And Cynthia Chain, she said that they should let Ashley know immediately. I think that she finds out next week.
Yeah, this coming week. She's gonna be here on Wednesday, I think, of this week. Either Tuesday or Wednesday of this coming week. It's in the spoilers.
Yeah, that they should definitely let that woman know, because she was tortured by that man. It'll be easy for her to kind of point out who is who, because she was friends with Alan for years, and she should know the difference now that she's healed of the difference between Alan and Martin. So I'm glad that they're letting her know, but let the people you live with know.
Well, because go ahead. I'm sorry.
Especially Kyle, because of Harrison.
Here's
a whole child.
She's not in the right place to do this by herself, because she's in the middle of cognitive dissonance as we speak. She's stuck between red flags and how she feel about this man. And when you got that kind of conundrum, like dude called on the phone and she feeling some kind of way because she's like, oh my God, this sounds like the man that I actually love. Okay, but it could be Martin too, ma'am.
I mean, they are twins. They're going to sound alike, and he's gotten to know you well enough now to just know what's going to appease to you. So she went to Jack because she knew that she wouldn't be in the right mental space to handle this herself.
Yeah, but Jack ain't 100% either.
Yeah, but this is more reason why there needs to be more awareness.
Right.
Than secrecy.
Exactly, and you hit it right on the head. If that man showed up at the house first before running into Tracy, if Tracy's waiting over at the GCAC or something, and he runs into Diane, and Diane is like, oh, you're back home, it's good to see you, are you excited about the marriage and the wedding? And then he didn't put her in the clinic somewhere up under the basement.
Right.
Because her guard is down because she don't know what's going on.
And she in tears, like looking at the text messages, and Diane's going all about the wedding, and it's visible that something is wrong with Tracy. I'm like, just say something. You don't have to be best friends with Diane, but you guys all share a whole compound together. And on top of that, there is a child that lives there as well. Let all the parties know so they know what they need to do. That's all I'm saying. I don't know why she wants to play superhero, but I think this is all going to blow up in everyone's face come May sweeps, which is right around the corner.
So technically, Victor probably ain't gonna have to do much because you already got a psychopath in your midst. Victor gonna be like, well, wait a minute. I was about to blow up that family, but you know what? I'm gonna take a step back. Now, I don't think he would be happy at the expense of Tracy.
Right.
You know, but Jack is, to me, and I've said this, he's just not a good leader. He's just not a good leader to me.
No, he has like a lot of misplaced loyalty. Kind of like Michael in a lot of ways. Yeah. But at the last minute, Jack tries to save the day and be all for his family, but just like all that stuff that happened with Diane and Kyle all last year. He was missing in action because he had misplaced loyalty, and then it was just the last minute. Then he wants to try to save his family.
Right.
I feel this Tracy thing is going to be the same situation.
I agree. I totally agree. I just don't. He's just not being smart about this. You got to get the family on board. You know, you can't contain it. It's already outside of your containment, if in fact, but more than likely it's him. That's where this is going. And she keeps saying, oh my God, if it is Alan, then he'll never forgive me because I'm blaming you for this. Girl, she's not the right person to try to run this thing.
Nope.
She's too emotionally invested.
Yep.
So, girl. Anyway, we also had Lauren asking Nikki to betray Victor's confidence because of all the simping that her husband is doing with Victor.
I was so happy to see this scene because there was just no way that Lauren was just going to be okay with the fact that her husband is a human lapdog for this man. Oh. And she's tired. She is tired of all of it. So I'm wondering if they're going to get Lauren a new man because she's like, look, I need for you to betray your husband. I need to know what's going on. Is he about to try to incriminate himself for this man? I'm already upset that he almost tried to take a bullet for this man. It's not even his family. I don't see my husband. He wakes up, eat, sleep, breathe, Victor, and I'm tired of it.
But I don't blame her. The fact of the matter that this man said, I'm going to stay here and possibly take a bullet for you when Ian was at the house back at the end of January. And I'm going to sit up there and listen to you and be like, wait, so did you think about me? Did you think about your son? Did you think about any of that while you over there simping for a man who just claimed that he gave you forgiveness?
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. It took him, a year and some change to forgive Michael for saving him from going to prison?
Girl, you heard what he said this past week. Oh, well, I still have? No, I've since forgiven you for that. So in Michael's head, he still thought that he was under Victor's thumb even at this point. And you was kissing his behind.
Pitiful. And I'm kind of mad at Lauren because it should have been right then. Like, look, don't go back and work for this man.
Girl, all there should be no reason issues. For him.
Okay, there's a therapist that helps with that. I don't know why he wants to be a glutton for punishment. To beg and to plead for a man who got him in prison, who is ungrateful to this man. Like, why do you want to work for them? The money can't be all that great.
Right.
Like, you used to have your own law firm. You used to be the DA or assistant DA or something. I forget which one. But, and on top of that, his wife is rich. They have money. They do not need the money.
Girl.
To be a glutton for punishment like this.
I don't even think it's about the money for Michael. He see this man just like Lily and Devon as the all-powerful, oh my God, I gotta be around you. I need your validation. Now I can see Claire, and even that's weird in itself. That's his granddaughter. You're related to him. But this whole thing with Devon, Lily, and Michael, it's just pathetic to me.
I'm so glad you brought all three of them up. Who do you think wants to be a Newman badly over the other? Who wants to be a Newman?
I gotta give Michael didn't put himself in a Peruvian prison for this man. Come on. And then your wife gotta beg you at the bar, and you making jokes and stuff to avoid the conversation. I'd be like, listen here, let me tell you something. You ain't gonna keep deflecting in the conversation when I'm trying to talk to you about what you're doing when it comes to Victor. Girl, that is insane.
Marcus Nelson had a question. He said, random question. Who do you think is more powerful and dangerous, Victor or Dollar Bill?
That's a good one.
It depends on the mission. I feel when it comes to executing things, I feel that they're both kind of the same. But I think the motivation with Victor is more emotional because he's still mad about Jack and Nikki in that hotel room. That's his whole motivation, even still to this day, to get one up on Jack.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, this man is butthurt about the fact that Jack was the one that stopped his wife from drinking and it wasn't him. He's butthurt.
Still, to this day, he needs a therapist as well. A lot of them need some therapy, and that's unfortunate that he won't listen. But it's all emotional for Victor. You hurt my family. You did this. And everyone has moved on. Nikki has been moved on. She went through AA meeting. She's sober. He made her the CEO of Chancellor. Everyone has moved on.
Right?
Except for Victor.
Girl, just insane. And it's like, y'all, Victor is just stuck in time with this whole thing because two things. Not only the fact of, what happened with the wife, but the Glissade situation too. Because Victor Jack bought them companies pennies on the dollar. He's pissed off about that too.
And it just, anything that revolves around Nikki, he's going to move emotionally. And same thing, this stuff that happened with Jordan. He kept her in a whole underground prison, feeding her Brussels sprouts because that affected Nikki. He moves emotionally, and I feel Bill is emotionless when it comes to getting even on somebody because he just has to be right.
I agree, but that whole thing with Michael is just, oh girl, I can't. Yeah, we've been talking about Michael for a while. I mean, I guess Carter then decided to go into retirement, at least for this moment. Michael got the whole podium right now.
There's other contenders, but he's definitely not letting go right now.
Right. He is definitely in the simp seat right now.
Oh yeah. He earned it. He wanted it. He earned it.
Yeah, he did, girl. Earned. Oh Lord. Earned. Dude would put himself back in prison.
His wife is going to leave him for somebody.
Right.
I can feel it.
Of course. So then we had the whole situation with Lily paying Victor another visit, and we kind of talked about that. That was on Friday when he backpedaled that she didn't catch. And then we talked about Nate standing by his brother. So we kind of bounced a little bit all over the place, and it encapsulated everything. When it comes to Young and the Restless. I'm trying to think of anything that we missed, but I think we covered everything this week.
I think so. We had a small scene with Nick, Sharon, and Phyllis over at her house where Chance, or maybe it was Monday's episode. I can't remember.
Oh, girl. That's why I'm thinking like Phyllis and Chance.
Okay, forget about it. But I think that was pretty much it.
I'm like, girl, what you talking about? I'm saying,
Yeah,
did I miss something? I know it's been a busy week. I'm like, did I miss something? Okay.
I think that was Monday's episode. Sorry, guys.
All right. How many people we got in the chat, girly?
We got 89 in the chat. I'm sorry, correction, 96 in the chat, but we got 41 likes, y'all.
Okay, we got to get the likes up, you guys. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And we do this every week. Normally it's on Friday. Now, I will say this month is going to be a little bit different. So I might do another Sunday or Monday, or else I might go early on Friday, because Friday nights I have a lot of stuff going on. My birthday is at the end of the month, so it's going to be pretty busy these next 3 weeks or so with things that are coming up. So I still want to make sure that we get our conversations in. So I will definitely, I know I told you guys Monday for this one, but I was like, you know what? It's Sunday evening. I asked Bree, I'm like, girl, you available? Let's get on the phone and talk some soap. So I might just pop in, even though I might give a specific day. So we will just keep your eyes to the skies. And we should be back on track in May. But, God, I can't believe I'm saying May. Girl, we was just Thanksgiving and Christmas. Sheesh.
And then to celebrate the new year, this has been zooming by. My goodness.
Yeah, we're already almost. Next week we'll be in the middle of April. Next week will be the 11th, 12th weekend. We've already, 4.5 months in. It is just insane how time is flying.
Oh, yeah. We're getting ready for May sweeps now.
Girl, yeah, and that should be coming up in about 2 weeks, I think. So it's going to be interesting. All right, so we got to talk bold business. The bold and the beautiful. And I know it's a lot going on this week. Where you want to start, girl? You want to talk about Luna and Will?
Yeah, we can get the kids out the way. Well, I shouldn't call them kids. The youngins.
The youngins.
I gotta hand it to Luna. The way that she's just handled this whole situation, she's not even remotely threatened by Elektra. This girl, the Forrester women have like this whole superhero complex. The same breath, this girl said, Luna's dangerous. You need to stay away from her. Nobody likes her. But why can we do this? You're gonna call Sheila to ask where Luna's at, and then pop up over at the house. Luna pop out the bathroom like, hi, hey girl, I was with your man, and either they're dangerous or they're not.
Girl, they be
because you
killing
feel
me
comfortable
with
going to
that.
Sheila's house.
Girl, they be killing me with that. I mean, y'all, both Steffy and Elektra, y'all are true Forresters to a fault. Y'all sit back and talk about how dangerous somebody is. But then you go and confront them and then lay hands on them.
Yeah. And push the girl. I'm like, she just unalived 2 people. You got both you and Will just said that at the office, that she showed up to the scene of the crime. So clearly she wasn't fazed or shaken by any of that. That she was able to walk around freely, have water, iced tea, whatever, visit her grandmother like it was nothing. And you going to literally push the bear, not poke it. You pushed the bear. It. And the look that Luna had on her face, I'm like, Elektra, don't drink anything, don't eat anything, don't breathe air at this point.
You said don't breathe air?
Look, we don't know what skill sets that Luna has cooked up and learned from her grandmother.
Right. Oh my gosh. Girl, that is too funny. Because, I mean, it's like, when that girl Elektra went over there, you barely dealt with the situation with Remy. You trying to figure out what to do with Will, because Will is ready to hit the sheets.
Oh, yeah.
But you're going to go and confront a 2-time murderer and push her.
Yeah. Like, you stay away from my boyfriend, and then you pushed her. It fazed this girl not one bit. She even told her grandmother, Sheila, I got this. You can go. I got her. This is fine. And then told Sheila after Elektra left, like, look, I've been beaten up by actual criminals in jail. I'm not scared of this little girl. She called her a little girl. I'm like, y'all both were the same age. But
right.
Okay.
Girl. Just craziness. It's like, What was you, ma'am? What was you thinking? Seriously. So, I'm sitting up there like, okay, y'all asking for it, and when that girl come for you, cause she held restraint. Luna could have went for that neck, cause you seen the look in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Exactly.
she could have went for her neck, but she like, no, I'm gonna let you slide with this one, boo.
And on top of that, you're in Sheila's house. You think Sheila's like gonna help her granddaughter?
Right.
Because
Yeah.
even she was like, "What did you do?" She said, "That was it. I don't need to cover up anything."
Oh
I, I,
man. Go
I don't know
ahead.
about you, but I love the Sheila Luna dynamic because it's like the generations of like crimes, like they're passing off different stories. Like, honey, like I got away with so much stuff, sweetie. You need
Right.
to do this when you do your crimes this way. Like, just loved it. I loved
Girl.
their dynamic. I just hate that. I'm very actually. I'll say this. I'm surprised that Deacon didn't really cave when it comes to his wife and accepting Luna.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I
Because I
tell.
figured,
Go ahead. What you
um,
say?
because I figured he would be all for whatever his wife wants.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a whole hypocrite because he got his whole life out of her
That's the
charges.
craziness about it. That's the crazy thing about it. You sitting up there talking about, oh no. How dare she get out of prison? She killed two of our friends. She belonged there. She does not belong. And I'm thinking like, you do realize that Sheila's rap sheet is longer than Luna's, but you got her out because you think she's hot in bed. So you married her.
Sheila's rap sheet started way before Luna was even a thought. Actually, before Finn was even a thought.
Girl.
So, and on top of that, you went to a whole judge to get her off of her charges.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that any different from what Bill decided to do? He did what he wanted to do. You did what you wanted to do.
Right.
And both of the women are out. So.
Exactly. Girl, just I'm sitting up there like, what is he what is he talking about?
Yeah. Like you have to choose between your granddaughter and me. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was going to, your wife. Your wife is going to do whatever she wants to do. She's going to tell you a little story like, yeah, honey, you're all the man that I need. Blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, trying to get an apartment ready for her granddaughter. You're not going to tell her to not say to avoid her children as much as she gripes about not being around Finn, not being around Hayes. Now she has a granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Why would she avoid that?
Right. Girl.
Yes, Dewan. Dewan is acting like Steffy. I agree. He is.
Oh man. Yeah, but that was pretty much what happened at the beginning of the week. Electra confronting Luna and Sheila vowing to help her get a granddaughter, whatever she want. Will, because here's the thing. I mean, I didn't think Will act like he's been experienced for a while, because that's how all this led before the whole Luna situation where Luna was coming on to him. Because he's ready to hit the sheets with Electra. Go ahead.
I can see that because he was a college kid and, the billionaire sons and these girls were quickly throwing themselves at him at force. So I can only imagine what college was like for him. So I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, girl. So I don't know. I kind of like the chemistry between Luna and Will.
Me too. And Will does too because he was thinking about it after
Girl,
Electra
yeah,
left.
that whole thing, biting of the lip thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah, he
sitting
liked that.
I was like, and she was like, I'll give you anything you want. You just gotta ask. You ain't gotta beg, I give it to you. We can even be have the benefits without the friendship.
That's a hard bargain. I could imagine for a lot of men
I know,
to
right?
ignore.
Well, Will was like, yeah, you know what I want right now. Because he said some things to her. Boy, because he left out some pieces that he told Luna. But, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, you and your daddy definitely know what to do. When he was acting as a young Nicholas.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
we know that she's an unaliver, Jenna. We know. It doesn't phase Will at all. And
Mm-mm.
apparently it doesn't phase Electra too, because she's comfortable pushing that said person.
Yeah, just like Deacon don't he realizes that Sheila is an unaliver too, but he don't mind that hot greasy sex that they be having.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right, moving on. So then, as we get to the midweek, we had the situation where we got to see Scott Clifton back. I didn't know
Yeah.
what to expect. I knew that they were going to have a big fight over this whole Luna situation, but this confrontation between Bill and Liam became a lot more personal.
Yeah. I almost want to say at first I was like, this came out of nowhere, but I'm like, no, they've had this issue for years where Bill was trying to really make Liam more like him.
Mm-hmm.
Their values never aligned. Um, and it seems like Liam never really got respect from his dad. And the stuff that Bill was saying reminds me of old school Bill, old school dollar Bill, and I actually appreciated that. I missed that side.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was like, "Look, I've given you everything. I'm handed you the world. Like you're an heir to a billion empire. All these different things." And I got to see a little glimpse of Liam, the old school Liam, where he was like, "Look, keep your money. I'm not about the money. I'm about tofu, vegan, and my computer games and stuff like that," or something that Liam usually says.
So
But
let me
you
ask
got
you
this.
this, Bree. Was
Mhm.
Bill right when he was complaining about all this? It didn't stop him from using the jet when he wanted to. It didn't stop him from having a nice cushy mansion to live in if he didn't truly want any of this stuff.
That is true. In all honesty, whenever it came to Liam's benefit, he utilized his wealth and the stuff that his father was able to give him. Whenever he was on a power trip, when Wyatt was around, it served him. Whenever he wanted to try to go stop either one of those women, either Steffy or Hope, from getting married or whatever the case is, he has no problem utilizing his wealth to get what he wants, or to try to stop a situation.
Mm-hmm.
So he hit that on the head, because it's true. Liam can't deny that, because if he didn't, he wouldn't get as far as he wanted to in any of the situations he's put himself in.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
But even now, he could have had a place to himself, but I guess he's still living with his dad. And even prior to that, he was still living in a cushy, he was living in on a cabin on somebody else's millionaire lot, but still, he's been handed the world.
I mean,
And
exactly.
he was the computer geek. I think he said he was a computer geek, and then he found out that his dad was a billionaire, and he was handed literally the world. Everything was like at his feet.
Mm-hmm.
And if he didn't want that, he really could have walked away from all of that. He still could have had a simple life, had a regular 9-to-5 job. He didn't have to partake in any of that.
Right. Yep. I totally agree. He didn't have to. And he's complaining about, I need you to be my dad and things like that. And I mean, Bill did some things for his kids. I mean, granted, we've seen some harsh times between them. I mean, he tried. I don't know. I mean, do you think he is okay? So I do agree with the fact that Liam should have been pissed off about the decision of Luna, because that's what it started from. It went into this other dark place about father and son, however they decided to write this thing. When it crossed over into that world, do you see Liam as being a whiny brat and not appreciative, or
No, I
okay?
feel that his feelings were valid, but I'm just a little bit, I don't want to say confused, but I'm like, Will is like in his 20s now. So they've had plenty of years, probably over 2 decades, to work on their father-son relationship. I think they are comfortable with the give and take part of their relationship, where if Liam needs something, he has it. If Bill needs something, Liam has his back. Like, it's a give or take, and they've been okay with that. They've been comfortable with that. Maybe it's hit to like a tipping point with Liam because he doesn't have a woman in his life. He doesn't really have anyone to remember him or acknowledge, even his birthday. I think he said only Wyatt remembered his birthday. It's like he doesn't really have people to love him unconditionally now. And I guess he assumed he probably had that with his dad and not really realizing it's a give or take relationship.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Now, that leads us to this epic fight because at this point it escalated to the point where Liam said that he would quit. And Bill was pretty much like, you ain't going nowhere. And then when it escalated even further, Bill was like, okay, fine. I don't want to see you when you come back. It was almost like he disown him in so many words. I don't know, whatever Bill was feeling that moment and told him, when I get back here, I don't want to see your face and all that. Okay, so I'm seeing some people or some folks thinking that Liam had a stroke, had a seizure.
That's what I was thinking. I think I said that in the group chat. Especially since Grace is, in town and she's a cardiologist. I felt that he did, because he was slurring his words, he was getting dizzy, but then he woke up, and that's why I was confused, and he made his way out to the front of the house, and then he fell again. I was like, oh, goodness.
Well, I think what made it worse, he might have passed out, but he hit his head on that leg of the couch or something, which probably caused damage. He woke up from that and collapsed again. You think that was the case?
Whatever they're bringing Grace here for, something has to do with his heart or something. I really thought it was a mini stroke at first, but the amount of times this man has hit his head,
right? Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. It might be your brain issue. I don't know, but he hit his head on I think the part of the couch or part of the table, and then also the ground, the gravel. That is damaging. I don't know what's about to happen to Liam. But I'm like, there wasn't any security. As rich as Bill is, he didn't have any security, no maids, like nothing. It took Steffy to find him.
Right, because I mean, what if Steffi wasn't bringing her butt over there to Bill's to confront him? What? Right. I mean, Liam would just be laying on the concrete outside the door all night?
Yeah. Had to. Or like, you can't be this rich and hire all this staff and nobody sees what's going on. There's nobody who saw him, like, from a security camera. I don't know.
But it was weird.
Yeah. And I'm like, Bill left the house that quickly?
Girl, I guess. Anyway, that was that episode. went on for about 2.5 days because the argument started on Wednesday. It went into Thursday where Liam ended up unconscious on the floor after that whole confrontation. And then, finally, he goes over there. And now the man is flatlined in the hospital and they trying to save him.
Yeah. And I felt really bad. I think the part that hit me was when Liam said that you felt comfortable sharing all your personal stuff, all the things about your childhood with Luna versus me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, none of the boys talk about Bill's childhood or anything that he went through. And I feel like that is very sad that he's so guarded that he doesn't want to share anything with his own children, but it felt comfortable sharing it with essentially a perfect stranger.
Right.
Because he really don't know who Luna really is.
Right. I mean, he was sharing mommy issues with a 20-year-old instead of his own sons.
Who's been in his life for a better part of like 2 decades now. Because I'm assuming Liam is about the same age as Finn in his 40s.
And then, remember, we heard Bill tell Luna there's some things he shared with her that he didn't even share with Katie either. He was married to the girl.
And I'm like, what is with the secrecy? See, another person who needs therapy. Like, what are you so afraid of? I'm really hoping this is going to be a new love story for both Bill and Liam to work on their father and son relationship.
Well, somebody in the chat earlier wrote something that they saw some behind the scenes footage where Scott Clifton's head was wrapped and that they were feeding him food or dinner or something. Bill was there. So, of course, I would assume once Bill finds out what happened, he's going to be, oh my God, he's going to be devastated.
Yeah.
So, I think he might be the catalyst to fix several different things because as much as Steffy and Hope are at odds with each other, one thing they do have in common is that Liam is the father to both their kids.
Yeah.
And so...
And I think...
Go ahead.
They both kind of thought about him. I feel Steffy was thinking about him a little bit more. I think Hope blinked and she's like, oh, yeah, Liam's the father of my child. Like, that was...
Yeah, but I have a feeling once she finds out... I'm wondering if this is a way that's going to, I don't know, broker some type of balance between the two of them. There's a reason that they did this thing, and I don't think it's just for Bill purpose.
You think this is going to garner a truce between Hope and Steffy?
If it depends on how long this man is going to be incapacitated, because they both are going to be worried about Liam because the fact that this man is the father to their children. They didn't have Hope bring up Liam all of a sudden. What was that, Friday episode when she was talking to Deacon?
Mm-hmm.
They brought that up for he's been the one constant in my life. He's been the person, after, I've been spiraling since the divorce. I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go. They brought that context in there for a reason.
Yeah, I hope they put those two back together.
Well, I don't mean in a relationship, but it might bring some type of a truce between the two girls. Meaning, and Steffy and Hope.
You think that Steffy might want her to work back over and force her?
I don't know. I mean, we saw Deacon offer her a job and a place to stay or something. I think it was just a place to stay over at Il Giardino. I can't see that long term for her.
Yeah.
So at some point, and we already got Brooke trying to broker deals with Ridge to get her back and stuff. It ain't going to last that long. Some kind of way, you're going to have to figure out a way to get Hope back in there. What is Annika going to do around town unless she about to take some time off?
Or they could have Hope deliver pizzas.
Girl, you know they're not
help out
gonna
her
do
dad.
that.
Look, that's what she deserves to do. I think that Hope and Steffi might, have a truce for their daughter's sake, but I don't think Steffi's gonna welcome her with open arms over at Forrester.
Mm-hmm. Jenna said, we all know where that's leading. I mean, they're gonna have to. You right? Hope is written into a corner right now. She is, unless she get on board with Finn. I just think Finn is just too. I don't want to use the wrong words, but I don't see him flipping the switch and say, "Okay, Hope, you about to be my next boo thing," because Steffi is taking care of Liam. I mean, anything is possible. They can rewrite that the way, but they have been having. Finn has been going through a lot of crap, and he's standing 10 toes down with Steph. I could be wrong. I thought that was the direction that they would go, which brings Finn into Sheila's life, but I don't know. This whole thing with Liam brings in a lot of emotions, especially for Hope, Steffi, and Bill,
and the daughters,
and the girls. Yeah, yep.
I don't know, and I mean, we'll stay tuned because eventually Jacqueline's about to go on maternity leave.
Yep.
So
unless she tapes some additional scenes to cover her leave, because I think she did that for one of her pregnancies.
Mm-hmm.
But
still, 5 kids. Is she gonna need more than?
Oh, and I think she got 2 under 2.
Yeah,
she just had a baby in 23, and then she'll have her next one in May of this next month.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they already filmed for May sweeps.
Mm-hmm.
So Jacqueline, depends on how they're going to write her off. And they're already kind of dropping a little bit of hints whenever she has those scenes with her and Finn. I think that was this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to stay away from Luna. Like, you can't let her in. You can't save her. Like, I understand you want to be the father that she's never had, but you need to stay away. Like, Finn is going to be Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to drive Steffy away, and that's probably how she's going to leave. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a quick turnaround for Liam,
mm-hmm.
because I doubt that she would want to leave while he's going through that.
Right. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. But, yeah, this man, with him being in this situation, is going to pull on a lot of emotions, especially those 2 women. Now, my question... Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Gail. She said, what about Ivy?
I don't know. They didn't have Ivy in town since December?
She was just in town talking with Elektra, right?
I said that they've had her on screen in town since December, and they have not chosen to try to put this girl with anybody, even though she was over the moon excited to see Liam back in May of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're going to do with her. She pops in and out. Yeah, she was here last week, but they really haven't given her a love interest. I think she was just a bridge for Elektra. Elektra get more time than she does.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I mean,
Elizabeth gets more time.
Yeah, I mean, so I think this was a way to bridge her, which they could have did that some kind of way, but they wanted her to be a Forrester, so they was like, okay, where do we get another Forrester from? Oh, yeah, Ivy has a brother. Okay, fine. We don't even know who the brother is. I never knew. I mean, we knew about Ivy, but was there any info about John having a son?
No, and that was, he had 2 daughters. What was the girl's name? It almost starts with an M. He had an older daughter, and I thought, not Maggie. Maggie's that girl's mother, Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
Jessica Forrester, that was John's daughter. She would have been old enough to have Elektra as a daughter by now. But they switched it up and said that John had a son, which was the most random thing. But it was always 2 daughters.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we will see. I wouldn't have minded to see Liam and Ivy reignite when they brought her back. Because, I mean, as much, I didn't like the fact that Steffi interrupted that whole thing last year. It was like, what for? You was supposed to carry your butt to work. You saw him at Il Giardino when you picked up food, and then you take him back to the house because you want to keep him away from Ivy. And then Ivy comes back to town, and the writers don't put her anywhere near Liam. That made
Not
no
even
sense.
a mention.
Exactly. What you was kissing and fawning all over that man last year, and then when the writers bring her back, you don't put... That could have been another storyline for Scott. They could have brought him on back, let him figure out this thing with Ivy. Come on. But no, they made her a bridge for Elektra.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They were going to mention anything that happened with Lee. I don't think they were going to put her over there.
Nope. She has said nothing since she's been back in town about Liam at all. So it just sucks that that was a missed opportunity for me. I wouldn't have minded the 2 of them getting together.
So it's either going to be, Steffi made her proclamation and she's going to stand up for Liam because Liam's always stood up for her. And I think Hope, I think she's going to show up just for the sake of her daughter to see what's going on with Liam. I don't think there's any romantic tie because the only romantic tie that Hope cares about is herself.
Mm-mm.
And it was shown when she was speaking with her daddy.
Yeah. Somebody said something in this chat about Remy, saying, could Remy be Bridget's daughter? I hope not.
Could be who?
I mean, Remy could be Bridget's son. Gail said that. That would make, because technically that would make Remy and Elektra cousins. Or second cousins, I think. Because Eric Forrester is Bridget's father. Elektra is John's granddaughter.
I would doubt that because Remy and Elektra, they grew up together. They were childhood friends, whereas Bridget lived in New York for the most part with her son. Her and Jackie and Owen, she made a big deal about it. They were all living together, raising Logan.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah,
and that was my thought, Dewan. I thought Remy was going to be Little D, which is Deacon's son.
Well, I guess we'll find out. I haven't seen anything about Remy lately. You know, so he popped in and out. But anyway, that's pretty much where they left us with the cliffhanger of what the heck is going to happen with Liam. Is he okay? He flatlined and they left us hanging, and I don't even think they put the spoilers out yet. I've been watching for them for the week of April 7th through the 11th, and they have, I don't think they put, nope, they have not. So they're going to do this one. They want us on the edge of our seats trying to figure out what's going to go on next week, because they gave us a preview with that fight between wait a minute,
that
Deacon put the karate moves on this man. You hear me? And Carter landed with a Superman punch.
look, I was proud of Carter. I was so proud of him for not just taking it. Like, look, you're not going to come at me and hit me.
Right. My thing is, Deacon, is you only getting half of the story, my guy. She's telling you as a victim, her side of the story of being a victim in this situation. She's not talking about how when Carter was like, I'm having second thoughts. No, put the pen in his hand. You need to sign it. No, you don't need to clear your conscience. We need to continue to do this. She ain't tell you all that, Deacon. Why you put a battery in your back.
She was saying, like, my mom is still working there. She didn't side with me. Carter disappointed me. Like, they're both over there at Forrester Creations, and I had nothing. I'm like, girl, you don't even want to work for the Forresters.
She said she didn't want to work. She honestly don't think that these people should have their company back. That part I don't understand.
She still doesn't feel that she was in the wrong. She still feels that she was wrong. How? You took them people's company. You took the company.
Both of them. I mean, because we're not going to absolve Carter whether he apologized or not.
Absolutely not. He still deserves to be fired. I'm still going to stand by that, but it was the Forrester's decision, all three of them, to still give this man both of his jobs. And it was a Forrester's decision to let Hope go. Mm-hmm. That had nothing to do with Carter or Brooke. It was what it was, because they could have let all three of them go. And they made the decisions. Mm-hmm. Hope didn't even want to be up underneath the Forresters.
Nope.
So what is she crying about?
You tell me, girl. Girl, please.
And she gave her daddy a whole sob story. He said, like, I should go up to the Forresters and handle Ridge and Carter myself. I'm like, sir.
Girl, he came up there and did a karate move on this man.
In the preview, but, like, you're physically assaulting an attorney, by the way. In a public office building.
Right.
That you have no right to be at because your daughter is not even over there. And you kick him and then you punch him. And then you got punched back. I'm hoping Carter really lets him have it. There ain't gonna be no karate moves over here.
Exactly.
And I'm like, what was it for? What was it for? It's not going to help your daughter get her job back any faster.
Mm-hmm.
Let her work for you. Let her flip some pizzas. That's her legacy.
Yep. Oh, girl.
And then she was talking about, like, I can't go back over to my mom's house. And he's like, you can stay over here. That girl got money. She can get a hotel. Better yet, she can get her own doggone place.
Yeah, I mean, I would think you still got a savings account or a checking account or something. So
this girl has
your bank account is not $0.
No. She has multi-millions. That's why she felt so comfortable to walk out of the office building. And then she didn't understand, like, why Carter was still trying to stay. And he was talking about, look, this is my livelihood. Mm-hmm. She has money. So she can walk off if she wants to. She was expecting for Carter to do the same for her. It's not the same. He does not have the same wallet, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, she probably stacked up plenty of money living underneath her mother's house all these years.
Yep.
And all the divorce settlements. So she was always good.
Yep, I agree.
So she can get her own place, Deacon. My goodness, just coddling this girl, and for what? And you're about to try to catch a charge, too, by assaulting an attorney who risked his license, everything for her.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping that
her.
And I hope this knocks some sense into Carter, that realizing, yeah, this was never worth it in the first place.
Mm-mm. Which is why he wore the gold and platinum medal for the Simp Olympics for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Because he was simping hard over this girl. And this girl was humiliating him in the past couple weeks. And he was still begging and pleading, but I love you. I'm like, dude, walk out the door with your dignity.
Or something.
Right.
At least he walked out with his job.
Right.
He's like, look.
And he go back to his penthouse, and drive his fancy sports car.
Yeah, he was like, look, I have bills I have to pay. I can't pay bills with love. and loyalty.
She actually thought that this man was just gonna walk out and just do what? I mean, granted, he's an attorney; he can go somewhere else, but he got his old job back as lead counsel and COO.
Yeah.
He getting double dipping.
Exactly. So, and you want him to walk away from that because of you?
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what's gonna happen between Daphne and him.
I do too. I'm okay with them, seeing where that goes, because anything but hope. That's all I can say. I think that I think after that confrontation between him and Deacon, he's going to realize, yeah, it was never worth it. She never loved me. She sent her daddy after me. Everything now. She never appreciated me.
Nope. All right, did we cover everything?
I think we did. There was like a little scene between Brooke and Katie, and I'm like, you should have kicked your daughter out.
Yeah, and then we also have Brooke coming in. Can you help my daughter get her job back? And by the way, I miss you, and I want to get back to you. Come home. And it's like, girl, how many times you gonna ask this man to come home?
And all Ridge is going to do in like almost every scene, he's going to look at you and do a head tilt. Like he's not going to say much.
I was wondering what you call that move. Torsten Kate has it down pat by doing that little head tilt.
He just look at you like you crazy and then do a head tilt. Like, are you okay?
Girl, that is too funny.
That is at least 75% of Ridge's scenes. You will always get a stare and a head tilt.
Right. Exactly. But I just, after all of that, you still, this man then went and got with his ex and his other baby mamas. And then you still talking about, I miss you, don't you miss me too, come home? Girl.
He told you to your face, I'm not going backwards. I am sticking with Taylor.
Right. I don't know who. And Angela said Brooke is. Oh, she said so disgusting. Why is she begging like a dog or whatever? But between the scene with her keep going back to Ridge and what we saw with Carter before he left Hope, it looks pathetic.
I was going to say Danny. I think Brooke and Danny are on the same tangent.
Oh, God. Yeah, we want to talk about Danny Dupree. Oh,
goodness. Yeah, Nicole. She's not giving up on the destiny. But Ridge said it was dusted up and he's no longer trying to go back to that. He's perfectly fine with Taylor, at least for the moment. But, like, why are you still begging this man?
I mean, after the whole thing that happened at the office with Hope, where he called her a nasty this and the SLUT and all this other kind of stuff, and then he was like, kick her out or I'm gone. Then he leaves, go over to Steph's house, and then ended up with her. And then you get mad calling Taylor second choice and all this old kind of stuff, only to keep coming back for the last 3-4 times. I
don't know. Like maybe Taylor moved herself into first position.
Yeah.
We just know it's not Brooke anymore.
Right. Exactly. Girls just,
Uh,
it's pathetic. I'm like, get this girl somebody else. Dollar Bill is finally single. You ain't got to
and he,
worry about the whole thing, whether you cheating on Ridge or anything. Big Dollar Bill Spencer is single as a Pringle.
yeah, as a dollar bill. And he's back to his old ways, which is what she was originally attracted to. So
I
I
mean,
look, give her something. But she's pitiful when it comes to Ridge, and she's pitiful when it comes to her daughter. She should have kicked her out after that girl tried to slap her mother.
ooh, girl, that's a whole problem in itself. It took Katie to keep your daughter from knocking you out because she was about to slap fire out of her mama.
Yeah, and all because she won't come to grips with the fact that she was in the wrong, and everyone's pointing out that she was wrong. That
Mm-hmm.
was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only issue. But you gonna try to slap your mother, and Brooke's gonna let you stay there? It would not happen in my family.
Oh, girl, please. I wish one of my two would try to slap me. Girl,
I'm
you
about
say
to
it's gonna be a
ask, like,
whole problem.
could you imagine being Brooke in that case? And one of your kids is Hope, and you're trying to point out that they were in the wrong, and they don't want to hear that, but they want to try to hit. Mm.
Girl. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, nope. Nope. And
They have
nope.
to. Hope would have to go.
Yeah. I mean, why would you ever want to raise your hand and do something like that to your Brooke has been coddling her for the longest. Things
Yeah,
that she was in a relationship with Ridge keeping secrets about when it come to her daughter.
all year, all of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Since the stuff with Thomas, since the stuff with Finn, the stuff with Carter, all these different things. The fact that she wanted to get one up on Steffi and make her pay by
Mm-hmm.
trying to get with Finn, like all these different things. Brooke has been quiet.
Mm-hmm. Keeping all her little dirty secrets. She was the one that helped facilitate Hope with the whole thing with getting custody of Douglas with them freaking papers. Come on
Yep.
now, girl. Your mama ain't never been in your corner.
Yeah. Anytime she wanted to get with Liam, Brooke was the only head cheerleader to try to, and also facilitator. And then Hope would just come in and pick up the pieces.
Mm.
Brooke was battling Steffi more than Hope was battling Steffi, in all honesty, when it came to Liam.
Mm-hmm. That whole merry-go-round for the last decade. And her mama was
Yeah.
like, no, you gonna win this one. We're gonna make sure
Yep.
you get your husband back. Liam belongs with you.
And on
Mm-hmm.
top of that, this girl is overly grown with a child and still living underneath her mother, living on her mother's front yard,
Girl.
talking about her mother is not there for girl. Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
And you
she
would
was
try to
like,
slap
so
that woman?
yeah, and then you gonna say for once, I just want you to be in my corner. You never in my corner. I'm like, girl, do you have selective memory?
Yeah.
Yeah, selective amnesia, I think is what it's called.
All of that. It's all the same. It's just the fact that she had the nerve, after all the things that Brooke has done for her, you gonna try to slap her.
Right. You know, and then you go over there, and Deacon, he should know Brooke better than that. For him to listen to this whole sob story about, oh, how my mom, I ain't talking to her, she did this, that, and the third. Yeah, do he know she got a soft side for Ridge? Yeah, they had a whole fight in the closet, in the janitor's closet, bloody to beat him to a pulp. So Deacon already knows how this woman feel about, but he should also know that Brooke do anything for her.
Yeah, exactly. And he could have went to Brooke. He was more focused on trying to assault Carter, which we'll see next week, versus talk to his precious Brooke about the situation with their child.
Right. So, mm-mm. I'm like, girl, please go and cry. And the thing is, did you see all of the validation and attention the Deacon was giving her? She was eating it up. I'm like, here we go again. It's just
Yeah,
coming from a different type of relationship.
it didn't matter who it was from as long as she get it.
Yep.
And get coddled and just like let this girl fall so she can know where she lands. This girl has a whole identity crisis.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing is like you say, identity crisis is definitely that, but I don't know, it's her and that need for validation, and I mean, Thomas gave her plenty of it, and then she'll throw him under the bus when she talk about Carter, talking about, oh, my bad relationships. That man didn't do nothing to you.
He was giving her a ring every month.
You were all up in this man's house. Y'all eating dinners. Douglas trying to put you together. He set up and made all type of dress. He was the one that gave life to your fashion line.
Right. Because without Thomas, what was hope for the future?
Exactly. His vision pushed your line and make money. But he was the problem?
And he gave her style. He was bending her backwards, everything. Anything that she could have ever wanted.
But when
she got from Thomas.
But when she talked to Carter or anybody else, oh, my bad relationships, what happened with Liam and Thomas? I'm like, yeah, okay. That man wanted to marry you, and he was like, okay, you need more time, take as much time as you want. I got to move on with my life.
And Douglas said the same thing too. He said, kick rocks.
Yep.
Douglas wasted no time. He didn't even care to hug Brooke or anybody.
Exactly. And so now, and I remember I said this, Bree, is the fact that she had a better chance of being part of the Forrester family by being with Thomas more than anybody.
Exactly. As much as he said that her and her family belongs there, that she belongs there. Okay, you're already raising that man's son. You might as well go ahead and marry that man. What would have been the harm? Especially since you're already sleeping with him. You were talking about having another child with him at one point, or at least thinking about it.
Right.
And you made a whole proclamation saying that you loved him even after the fact. That man already went to Paris, and you going around town saying, I love him. I love him. Steffi took him away. I love him. You could have went to Paris and got your man.
She don't take accountability for that either. Was Steffy in his ear? Of course. Thomas chose to do what he chose to do, and Hope chose to do what she chose to do, which was to not get married. She got to take the ownership of that and let that man go. That wasn't somebody that did something to you. Y'all were on two different pages in life, and y'all moved in different directions.
Yeah, and Douglas moved in a whole different direction too and got a new mommy. He was already calling Paris mommy. I was like, oh goodness, it's bad when the baby's ready to go.
Right, girl, please. All right, so I think we now have officially covered everything. Bold. All right, we got to talk about BTG, and I know it's like 10 o'clock on the East Coast, so we're going to try to see if we can get through it so everybody can get to bed at a decent hour. Because folks got to go to work. Okay, let me pull up my notes for BTG. All right. So, we had a few things going on this week. Especially the biggest thing when Bill tried to be manipulative to try to get this doggone case dropped. Goes over to Danny's. You know that woman still got feelings for you. You sitting on the couch talking about, man, I used to see you in your swimsuit and the kids at the lake. And all this old kind of stuff. And she like, oh, wow. But she... Go ahead, Bree. I know you got
like before then, she went ahead and changed her whole outfit just at the mere thought of this man coming over. I'm like, and she looked cute in it. She looked great. She always looks great on her outfits, but she went the extra mile to do that. And then she decided to make a whole fool of herself and kiss this man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it took him a second to try to pull away, but it still threw egg at this woman's face. I don't know which action has been worse thus far. Her trying to pew up that man's wedding, her getting down and begging on her knees at this man's office to take her back, or her making a whole fool of herself again at her own home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make that make sense.
Like, it's getting worse with Danny. I genuinely feel like I don't know what's going to take for her. It would have to be a man that's equal to Bill or greater than Bill. Anything that's less than that man is just not going to do it for her. But I think she made a very valid point, like, hey, like, I'm in your blood. He said he had a transfusion. I thought that was a great comeback, but after 30-something years, you guys are pretty much in each other's blood. She knows your next move. She pretty much can identify how you're feeling, and then vice versa. That's why he knew all the right things to say.
Mm-hmm.
To draw up certain memories. He knows this woman.
Yep, you are absolutely correct. And he thought that he was going to finagle a way where whatever he could say to her to get Naomi to drop that case. Let me ask you a question, Bree. Do you think Naomi should have taken that case in the first place?
I don't see why she shouldn't. I mean, they live in the same town. I mean, it would be bound that her and her father would go against each other for whatever reason. They both attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
And she's trying to do this for a good cause. I don't see why she shouldn't do it. Plus, her clients have a leg to stand on when it comes to that, so it could be like a really good payout. But I think she wants to try to also prove herself to her father. I don't really see it's a bad thing.
Well, I'm not saying it's bad. I just think that she's too close.
The mess. Too close to the situation.
Yeah, because in real life, they would easily say, this is a vendetta, could be a conflict of interest. Your family just came out of a very bitter divorce between your parent and the other attorney, so it's just a weird dynamic. And obviously it's here in this situation for the purposes of being soapy. But there's some raw pain. This all just happened. They just got married, and the girl that he married was her best friend.
Right.
So it's a lot of dynamics, and the girls even said when they originally approached her that we know that you probably will want to go for this case because you probably pissed off at your father.
And I wouldn't blame her if that was her motivation. Even if she switches up and changes, like, I want to get back at my dad for my mom, I would understand that. Is it too close for comfort from the optics? Yes, I do get that. But, why not?
Because I think it's temporary pain. It's one thing that happened. But at the end of the day, that's still their father. Somewhere along the line, they're going to have to reconcile that.
I do agree with that. And I think in a weird way, Naomi and Bill will through this case. Because they were talking about, there was dialogue where they were stating that they were practice, different depositions back and forth, like interrogations and stuff back and forth. And that was a way for them to bond because they're in the same field. So now she gets to kind of put this to the test. And I think Bill, to some degree, is proud of her. He's still going to be him. He's still going to, be the shark that he is. Mm-hmm. But I think he's proud that his daughter's even choosing to step up towards him. In a weird way, their dynamic is going to bring them together, and I think that's how they're going to resolve their issues. Because even Danny's like, look, your daughters don't hate you, they hate what you did.
Right.
So there's still love there. Mm-hmm. So this is just their way, I think, probably repairing their relationship through this lawsuit.
Well, I thought maybe with the situation of Bill having a hand situation going on, that it brought out a little bit of that emotion in Naomi because she was kind of concerned. But then you throw in Haley trying to have secret meetings and all this kind of stuff. It's just making it worse.
Haley needs to mind her own business. I cannot stand Haley. I'm so sick of this righteous attitude. Her and Hope are practically the same person. At this point, you can't just be happy to be married. You can't go to other restaurants. You want to cry about like people taking sides, and I'm like, just go to a different place.
Right?
Who cares? Grow up. Mm-hmm. And if the daughters don't care to speak to you or have a relationship with you, you have no place, stepmother or not. You have no place to dictate how these girls move when it comes to their father.
Right. Yep, I totally agree with that, girl. Because I'm like, girl, you need to go take several seats. I mean, it's too fresh. The wound is too fresh. And you all up in people's face talking about you need to do this and you need to fix that. And then you meeting with Naomi's clients and things like that. It's like, just go be a wife. You wanted to be Bill's wife, go be Bill's wife and stay out the way.
And I'm like, we noticed how she was trying to fight tooth and nail saying that she wants to go to work. We don't ever see her at work.
Girl.
Except for one episode. Right. Anita had it right, little heifer. That's exactly what she is. That's who she is. The child bride, all of that. All the nicknames they gave this girl is all true. She a child, and she just, I just don't like the fact that she's trying to insinuate herself when it comes to these girls, especially when it comes to like Chelsea. Like, hey, like you need to convince your sister to drop this. You need to have a relationship with your dad. You need to do this. Well, your mother did X, Y, and Z to me. So, what does that have to do with you?
Yeah, you signed up for this. You signed up to be the pariah of the whole country club and that whole area. Those people have a legacy there, and you're an interloper, and you expect that legacy around that entire community to just say, oh, well, you're the new Bill, Mrs. Bill, whatever. Yeah, we welcome you. It's not going to be that simple. That family owned that compound.
And that's why Danny was, when she was talking with Bill, like, Team Danny, I don't even know what that means. And he was like, well, people were taking sides. And that has nothing to do with Danny.
Right.
These grown people can form their own opinion. And if that's their restaurant or their place of business, they don't have to serve your precious Haley. They don't. She got a card without with an unlimited spending limit. She can go anywhere. Mm-hmm. She does not have to be there. Mm-mm. She's choosing to be interloop because that's the only form of friendships or only form of like people talking to her that she can get outside of Bill.
Mm-hmm.
So she brought that upon herself. What was she thinking? That it was going to be rainbows and flowers blooming every which way she goes and everyone's going to accept her?
Girl, no. She's thinking that she was just going to slide into this because Bill is a big attorney in town. Yeah, well, he's not a Dupree. So he was married into that whole compound because he was married to Danny. But now he's just a big lawyer, a person that owns a law firm, and you just happen to marry him. Why don't you just enjoy that?
Right.
And move
I
on.
agree. And Jasmine, I agree. She is a double D mosquito. I get that.
Did you say a double D mosquito?
Jasmine Williams said, I highly agree with that. That's a pinpoint accurate description by Jasmine Williams. Thank you. But she is. And the fact that Bill came over to ask Danny to get people to be nice to Haley. For what?
Exactly.
I'm not doing anything for that girl. That girl was already welcomed by the Duprees, by the daughters, into the family, into the fold. She did more than enough, and that girl was ungrateful. Mm-hmm. She slept with Danny's husband and then married him, disrespected the daughter, who was her best friend. Why on earth would she ever try to help Haley?
Right. Yeah,
like you can't help your wife to getting a personal chef. You can't pay somebody to be her friend or something to keep her occupied. I mean, she's desperate to this point.
Mm-hmm. Girl, just crazy. She need to go take several seats, like I said. Let's see. Oh, we had that other situation between Kat and what's that girl name? Eva. Girl, them two there. I'm like,
I love it. I really am keeping my fingers crossed that these are fraternal twins, because the more I keep seeing them in scenes, I'm like, they kind of resemble each other. Even like in their behaviors, their demeanor, everything. I'm like, this has to happen.
So do you think that they're fraternal twins coming from Nicole? And that Leslie stole the kid? Because I'm hearing that type of idea.
I do. I honestly believe that. I feel that. I think Leslie has a kid out there, but I think the kid that she traded them for was Nicole and Ted's kid, because Eva does not act remotely like Leslie. I feel like when I see scenes between Eva and Nicole, mm-hmm. that resembles more of a mother-daughter relationship, in my opinion. And like, there's more of a family tie, in my opinion. They have more in common, like even like this, like a good sense of self. Like she is able to have like a good, genuine, like heart, mm-hmm. like them. Whereas Leslie is just pure evil.
Yeah, she especially really we got to remember manipulative. We got to remember at the beginning of the actual season, she ran that girl off the road.
Yeah. And they haven't mentioned that girl at all still. Mm-hmm. But this woman is demented to the point where she just hopping in and out of hospitals with a different wig, a different name, different personality. I don't think Eva even knows who Leslie is. She's telling this girl, don't tell him I'm your mom. I'm your adoptive mom, but not your mom, really. And don't say my name, Dana. I'm just like, you putting this girl through all of this, but you know for sure that she is Ted's daughter. So mm-hmm. then why don't you go to Ted and say, hey, this is your child?
Yeah, that's the interesting part about the dialogue. Because that back alley scene.
Yeah.
We heard the AB word.
Yeah.
So
he paid her off. And now she's expecting even more of a check from him. So I'm like, so you spent up all that man's money. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the only reason why she's making her way over to Ted was to try to get even more money out of him. I don't think it has nothing to do really with Nicole and Ted, because she's been fine with them all this time. Mm-hmm. She was in a whole other relationship with that Allen man, and then he passed, and now she wants to zero in on trying to get Ted and his money.
Right.
Because if this was his child and you wanted Ted, you could have already been in the game. Mm-hmm. Nicole and Ted wouldn't really be much of a thing because they would have to still deal with you.
Right.
And the way that you like to switch it up with the wig, I wouldn't put it past this woman to try to seduce Ted. She already had him. Mm-hmm. So what was the harm of that girl could have had her daddy in her life, and you're choosing not to do that for whatever reason. And that makes me feel that she was never the mother to begin with.
Yeah, there is a disconnect between those two.
Yeah.
And so, like you say, it could be a possibility that this is a situation where it was something like Mariah. Well, obviously they would be fraternal because they're not identical, but where like Jordan and whoever else stole Mariah and, stole baby Eve. And then decide I want to raise and get money out of folks and do stuff sinister. So, yeah, I don't think that
it makes no sense. You have the ace in the hole, and all you can do is just, you could have went to Ted to Nicole and said, "Hey, this is your daughter, and yeah, this man been paying me off." It still wouldn't change the result that was his daughter. But you want to put this girl in this situation that can ruin any chance of her building up, relationship with her dad and her siblings. She know exactly what she's doing. Because when all this blows up, she's still going to keep her daughter to herself, and then she's still going to have the money in hand too. She doesn't want her to have a relationship with her dad at all.
Nope. Yeah, she's looking, because the longer the secrets stay out, the more money she can get. Once the secret is out, this girl is an adult. It's not like you can go for child support or anything like that. I mean, she's a grown woman, so once the secret comes out, that's the end for you, ma'am. What else you got?
Right. What other tricks can you it makes no sense to me. But I wanted to say that they keep saying that Kat was a miracle child, and they never really say as to why. So I'm wondering if she survived as a twin. That's what I keep getting the twin thing from.
Exactly. All right, well, we gotta talk about what's the girl name? Oh my God.
Who in the bottom right?
No, Chelsea.
Oh, Chelsea.
Yeah, she decided to tell her mama that I'm finna do these purses whether you like it or not. And then, of course, she came back and decided to walk the runway with the purse, which to me is the smarter idea, which is why I can understand why Kat talked her into it. Because it's like you already got a huge following based on the fact that you were a model. If you want to bring out your purses in grand fashion, you get back in front of the runway and wear the purse. Even if you do it for one last time.
See, this is why I love Kat. That's one of my favorite characters on this show. Common sense. Like, I can understand you don't want to work with your mom, but, I mean, your mom has helped cultivate your whole career to where you have a following. Designers are asking for you. You have a whole brand. This is the Kardashian way. Look, the Kardashians will be in any and every picture, runway, anything with their merchandise. They got the kids modeling the merchandise, everything. Like, you're starting off very brand new, and your mother has all these different connections. I mean, it took her next to nothing to put this fashion show together for you, where you have all eyes on you, which means you can have all eyes on your product. what was the harm?
Yeah, because she's
Like you
talking about
can
this
do
is
both.
my baby. This is mine, mine, mine. Ma'am, it takes sometimes networking to get you into bigger places. Your mom is like, okay, fine, I'm cool with you. Do your thing. Then you can just advertise your purses too.
Yeah, like you can. These girls, these people nowadays, they do both. These girls online do both.
Yeah, a lot of folks they'll have what that's where you think they people hire influencers to showcase their product because they have a following. She has the
Yeah,
smart thing is if you built a following with 1 million or so followers, you want to put that product in front of those 1 million followers.
yeah, that already know you.
Girl,
And on top of that, modeling is what you do anyway. You're just on a runway modeling your
the
merchandise. What
purse.
was I don't know why she's making it so complicated.
Right. I don't know. It's because she wanted the kid get her. Well, first of all, she's tired of Danny managing her. She's a momager. They keep using that word on the show. And so Chelsea is like, listen, I want to do my own thing. My mama getting on my nerves. I just wish she'd go and figure out what she want to do with her life. And so a part of that is I just want to get up from up under my mama. She not thinking that she needs to bridge herself out.
Yeah, think like a business woman.
Right. Yeah.
Which maybe that's why she's the creative, and that's why she needed Kat, because clearly Kat was the one with the business sense.
Yeah.
And Jenna, I agree with you 100%. She said, I don't see why Danny doesn't start her own modeling agency.
Yep.
That makes perfect sense.
I agree. I agree with that.
That's a fantastic idea. Writers.
Yes, if you're listening. A couple other things, and then we're gonna try to start narrowing it down because I know it's getting kind of late. We had the situation with Vanessa and Joey, and we had the situation at the hospital with Andre and Ashley, and
Sharon.
Are y'all gonna put them two together? Let's go with the whole thing with Andre and Ashley. Are we gonna put them two together or no? Because it doesn't look like Ashley is interested, but I'm not sure I don't know. What do you think?
I think that she is. I think that she's trying to play it off because when she invited Andre, or I think Derek invited Andre over to the house. She's getting all jealous. She got mad at the fact that this man left the house for a booty call. I'm like, why are you bothered? Why are you even concerned?
Mm-hmm.
But like every time he touches her, she just like flushed, and I'm like, they might as well go ahead and put these two together.
Mm-hmm.
Even Derek is looking at them like, okay, they definitely have something.
Yeah, something's going on. Shanice is being messy.
And I love her character.
I mean, she is being real messy. I'm like, girl. But look, yeah, just go ahead. If you either figure out what you're going to do, because poor Derek is like frazzled. He knows something. His eyes is all wide every time he see those two together.
I'm like, poor thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they did everything just to loop that Andre back over to the hospital. Like, oh, we need for you to do a documentary on the new nurses. For what?
Girl, that was crazy to me. I'm like, it's just...
I'm like, he's a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Chelsea and Kat, they all have that whole fashion thing. Like, why is he not over there, like, working on photos for the display of their merchandise?
Right.
You know, something that makes sense.
But exactly. Exactly. Girls just don't make no sense. But I know one thing, Danny and Andre can't get enough of each other. It's like, y'all I guess that's not enough to keep y'all from thinking about Bill and Ashley.
Nope. That's not what they truly want. And they even have the whole discussion while they're getting undressed, like, I want this person, I want that person. And then they get it in. I'm like, ugh, it's such a waste.
I know. And then Vanessa, girl.
I love Vanessa.
Girl, but the thing is, she is obviously she's in a loveless marriage. They're there together for convenience. She mentioned it. You know, he do his thing, I do my thing, and we go on like two ships in the night. And she feeling some kind of way about Joey. And then, of course, she's thinking that she's trying to help him buy a house. Nicole goes over there and tell her, look, this man's mother has been gone for a year. And instead of her saying this dude flat out lied, he finessed her talking about the reason that I used her is because I didn't want you to know that it was me. And she was okay with that.
Look, any man that's apparently giving her attention. I guess she forgot all about Diego.
Yeah, because Diego is in his feelings right now.
And I'm like, why?
Dude,
knew she was married.
Girl, he's the side dude. He's trying to become the main dude, and then she like, I don't know what, but she ran around that corner anyway. Left her computer open and everything.
I wonder if Vanessa and Joey are actually going to get together.
Girl, this is a bad idea. I mean, good grief. This man has got his hands wrapped all intertwined into their life.
The police department.
Right.
And he got his hands full. And I actually love the fact that, I forget the name of the actor who's playing Joey, but the fact that he's added on, he's going to be a mess. He's like
the
have
dirty,
a lot of people in his back pocket.
He's like the criminal version of Victor Newman.
Yes, I agree with that. Highly agree with that. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Bill work together.
Hey, who knows? Bill have some certain type of connections and things and know some information, so anything is possible.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I'm wondering if Vanessa's going to find out about that gambling. I mean, Joey is now putting threats on the table. He like, listen here, it's time for you to pay up, bro. And he's talking about, I just got to get one good hit on the table. I'm like, dude, he owns the table.
Right. It's like he owns a casino. Mm-hmm. The casino manipulates people to come back and play. That's just how it is. Mm-hmm. Joey's no different when it comes to everything in his realm. And that's what he's trying to let you know by even being involved with your wife.
Yep.
I don't feel bad for Stuart Little. I really don't. I don't really care for Doug like that.
That is so Stuart Little. You stupid girl.
Look, that's exactly what he reminds me of. That's what he.
Oh my God, girl, you are hilarious.
He about the cheese. But I honestly would give it maybe like another week or so, and I think we might see Vanessa and Joey like kiss or like sleep together or something. She clearly likes whatever he's serving.
Well, here's the thing: he's gonna have leverage on the both of them, because if he sleeps with her, he's gonna make it look like, I don't want to have to tell your husband. And then he got leverage on him saying, I don't want to have to let everybody know that you got a gambling problem.
To be honest, I don't think Vanessa would care if that secret got out.
If it affect the money in the house. Because, I mean, she's putting money in as a realtor. Where that money going? If he's blowing up everything in the kitchen sink.
Yeah, but I don't think that she would mind if Joey and Vanessa were to sleep together. He could hold it over her head, but this is the same woman who was kissing Diego in the mouth at the bar, at the country club, not a care in the world.
Yeah,
Everybody's
because I
seeing her.
mean, granted, he could do something crazy, but I mean, he's not really affecting her livelihood. Because, like you said, Doug don't care. He's in his own world, and she's getting her benefits taken care of. And this pool, is he a pool guy? Or he work at the clubhouse. He go about his business and go home. Joey has a little bit more power to affect a whole bunch of people's lives, including hers.
I mean, but she also came from money. Because because I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, Joey and Stuart Little were in the car, and he was saying, hey, your wife comes from like a prominent background. She comes from money. So she doesn't need to be a real estate. So if she were to lose clients or something, I don't think it would affect her too much. I think she wants out of her marriage. And to be very honest, I don't think that she would be fazed by the fact that man has a gambling problem. Because after 30-something years, you don't notice that your husband has an addiction like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that I don't think it has to do about the fact that she would. He obviously is in this for a reason, and it's not just to sleep with her. So whatever leverage he's trying to get, because those type of guys, they're not into it for the superficial. Just like he wants to put Doug in so much debt so he can utilize him for whatever he wants. She got a purpose too. The question is, what is it?
I'm saying too, and I love me some Joey. I love Vanessa. That's
his name is John Lundstrom.
Oh, the actor. Yes.
Yep.
He's a great actor. I love him as an addition as Joey. It definitely adds some extra flavor, especially since all the stuff that's going on with the police department. He is in the midst of whatever's going on with Jacob's fine daddy and that struggle bus of the other cop.
Yeah. So, yeah, that whole thing is a hot mess, too. Oh, Lord. A lot of stuff happened this week. But we are going to kind of start winding down. I see some people were saying good night in the chat. And I understand it's Sunday night going into Monday. And I know if you're in the Eastern time zone, it's like 10:30 there. So on a Friday night, it's different. You can sleep in on Saturday, But I just wanted to make sure I get some time in with y'all. All right. How many people in the chat, girl?
We still got 115.
Oh, that's good. Okay, y'all still hanging in there. All right, we're gonna do our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments. And for those that may not know what we're talking about, we do flip the script, who's taking several seats, star of the week, pickle of the week, and also the Simp Olympics. So, for Young and the Restless, what are you flipping, girl?
What would I flip? I would have flipped Lily when she was visiting Victor. I actually would have loved for her to get a dose of reality and ask this man what his sources are, and then he plays her once again like a fiddle and said, I was just playing you. I was lying to you so you can get some information.
Oh, wait a minute. Belinda Hill just wrote something interesting in the chat. She said Joey said that the reason his mother passed away is because of plastic surgery procedure going wrong and Doug was the surgeon.
Oh, that's an awesome element. Not what happened, but I'm like, that just adds on to like.
Yeah, he's gonna try to ruin his family. Like, you took my mom away from me because you botched the surgery. Now I'm coming for you. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, I love that. Oh, I can't wait for all of it to come out. See, juicy storylines. Love this.
Yep. Anyway, If I had to flip, I would have wanted to see this week Amy tell Lily to kick rocks and stop acting crazy when it come to my son.
Mm-hmm.
I want Amy to chin check Lily on that, cause she was mad. She tell Lily to back off. Mm-mm.
Yep.
Yeah, so I would have definitely went with that one. What you got for bold flip?
When Electra pushed Luna, I actually wanted Luna to try to do something.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Like, look, I'm gonna let you get away with it once, but either push her back or push her towards the door. Something.
Mm-hmm.
Be full on like your grandmother.
If I had to flip the script, I would have wanted Sheila to be straight up with Deacon when he was going through this whole rant about Luna being this and that and this and that and how she get out of prison. I would have been like, but you don't have a problem with me though, huh? You know, kind of give him a moment of reflection like, dude, you saying all this stuff, but you did the exact same thing for me.
Yep. That's perfect.
I would have had Sheila clap back, and she ain't got to be crazy Sheila when she said it. Like, look, let me tell you something. You sitting up there condemning and saying what she should have went. My rap sheet is longer than probably anybody on this show. But you still decide to get me out of jail and marry me. I said I changed too. Right, and you sucking on my 9 toes. So I don't understand. And I'm not excusing the fact that she is, you know, she took 2 of our best friends' lives. But if you're going to talk crazy, well, how do you think about me? Do you really, or you just enjoy the good hot sex?
Because he keeps pointing that out every chance he
gets. Exactly. He always bring that up when it comes to Sheila. So, anyway. And then what's your flip for Beyond the Gates?
For Beyond the Gates, there was a scene between Anita and Vernon. They were trying to talk Naomi, I'm not out of it, but like try to go easy on Bill. I wish they didn't do that. I'm so sick of them acting scary when it comes to Bill.
Gotcha. Let me think. I wish that Vanessa, when the moment that she found out that man lied to her, she should have been done.
Yeah.
I don't care if you. I mean, what's the big deal about if it was truly about you buying a house, and you didn't want to look a certain we know what you do, man. You ain't scared of nothing. All of a sudden, you scared to tell me that I want to buy a house, and I'm using my dead mother to do it. I wish Vanessa would have walked away from him in that moment.
Yeah. But there's something about that Joey. She can't pull herself away.
Girl, she like the element of danger and risk.
Yes, she does.
That's why she keeps sneaking and creeping around with Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And she think that she about to take it up another notch with Joey. A powerful, dangerous man with money. Girl. Anyway. Alright, who's taking seats on Y&R?
Lily, Devon, and Mr. Newman.
Shoot, Michael needs to take a seat, or else he's going to end up in the divorce court office. Because Lauren, she's trying.
She at her breaking point. She had to go to Nikki.
I know. You need to betray your husband. No, your husband need to go take a seat. Victor is going to do what Victor's going to do. And Nikki ain't going to be able to do nothing with Victor. Y'all should know that by now.
Yeah.
It's up to Michael to stop simping. Anyway.
And he won't let that go.
Right. Who's taking seats on Bold?
I'm going to give it to Electra. I'm sorry. You going to go to Sheila's house to go look for Luna, the 2 crazy psychopaths. You feel confident enough to do that, just to tell that girl to stay away from your boyfriend. Please.
Yeah. I'm going to give
either you're scared or you're not.
Right. I'm gonna give a seat to Hope because she going around there in denial, gassing up her daddy so he can go over there and karate chop.
Karate chop.
So he can go over there and karate chop Carter because she only gave her victim mentality story.
He came in like Chuck Norris.
Girl, that's gonna be hilarious.
Deacon is Chuck Norris. My goodness.
Who's taking a seat on BTG?
I'm gonna need Danny to take a seat because it's starting to get ridiculous.
I'm gonna need Haley to take a seat from going on this crusade to try to bring everybody together when she's part of the problem.
Yep, I agree.
I mean,
and you trying to recognize it.
Yeah, she's trying to reunite the kids, trying to talk the girl out of the lawsuit, all this kind of stuff. It's like, girl, go somewhere, take a seat, take a breather, enjoy your new marriage by yourself. You know, but girl, Star of the week, YNR.
I'm gonna give it to Beth Maitland.
Okay.
As Tracy. She had some really great scenes.
I agree with you on that one. That emotion was insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, and by the way, Victor, we kind of touched on it. I guess I have to watch the Monday episode because you said it wasn't what we thought. But that whole thing with Audra and Victor offering her a job, I'm like, But anyway, I agree with you on the Beth Maitland situation. What about Bold? Star of the week.
Oh, that's Scott and Dawn, actually. Scott, Clifton, and Dawn DeMont. I'll give it to them both.
Okay, so if you give it to them...
We can share.
She said we can share. Yeah, I was thinking about Lisa Yamato. That girl knows she got some expressions on her face. How she switched back and forth. The girl definitely know how to compartmentalize very well. And start a week on BTG.
I'm actually gonna give it to the actor who plays Julie.
Oh yeah, John Lundstrom.
John Lundstrom, yes.
Yeah, because he definitely is acting his butt off.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he playing everybody. He got his fingers in every different, a whole lot of different things. All right, pickle of the week. YNR. I'm giving it to Lily Winters.
Yeah, and I'll give it to Cuckoo Chloe as well.
Oh God, tell me about it.
I'm like, why did she say anything?
Yeah,
why?
Just shut it.
For real, like you try to blow up a whole person.
I know, right? So stop being a big old hypocrite. Pickle of the week on Bold. Hope.
I'm gonna give it to her daddy, Deacon.
Yep.
Another big old hypocrite.
And then BTG. I'm gonna give it to this Andre. It's like that girl it looked like she don't want you. I'm just tired of him always popping up when it comes to this girl.
I'm gonna give that same one. Because I'm like, make up your mind, sir. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, you going over there dipping in the Kool-Aid with Danny only to be sniffing around, trying to ask questions about, talk about Ashley. And Poe Derek you made that man like a whole fool in the paper with that cat.
Poor thing. That picture was sad. He knew better than that.
I know. That is insane. All right. And then our Simp Olympics this week. I'm giving it to Michael. Who you got? I know you had a couple of people when we was talking earlier.
I had Michael. I had Brooke. I had Danny. I had it just slipped out of my slipped out of my head. But those are the good 3 right there.
So who gets
Even
the
Deacon.
platinum?
Oh, Michael gets the platinum. You still gonna ignore your wife?
Right.
She on the brink. She probably headed straight to the divorce attorney.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't. She's at her brink. She went to the Newman. She's one step away of going to Victor herself and say, "Leave my husband alone. Fire him. Do whatever."
Right. Exactly.
But he just, oh goodness. And then Danny is a close second with the gold. I'm like, girl, let it go.
Right. I mean, the girl about to drink herself into oblivion because of this. And I know you got 30 years under your belt, and it's a lot of pain, but the thing is, this dude been cheating on her for years, and she was able to overlook it. But this one little girl right here is driving you insane.
Yes, and she's about to get cheated on herself with whoever that lady is. We forgot to talk about that, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-mm. So, and then who got the silver?
We'll give Brooke the silver.
Oh, Brooke Logan.
Because she is sent for her daughter and Ridge
and
still.
Ridge, yeah. I mean, she looked pathetic right now. Keep going back and forth. But come home. But I miss you. Come home. And she looking at you like, look, girl, how many times I gotta tell you?
He look at her, does a head tilt. She says, I love you. Head tilt. Come back to me. Head tilt.
Right.
That's all he does.
Some people in the chat are saying Nick. What did Nick do this week?
What did he do this week? Unless they're talking about Mondays.
Yeah, I don't remember Nick really simping this past week of the 31st. So,
Monday, yeah, I would give that to him.
Okay, well, I got to see Monday's episode because you got a whole lot of stuff that you've been...
Audra, I really want your opinion on that. That's all I got to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to check that out, girl. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if I got cut off or something. Yeah, I got to check that out. And then I'll let you know exactly what what my thoughts are on that. So, all right, you guys, it is approximately 9:45 my time, 10:45 if you're on the East Coast. I wanted to go ahead and carve out some time that, because I know a lot of you all were itching to talk about this on Friday, but, and I said Monday, so I'm like, you know what, I got some time. I said, let me see what Bree is up to, and we decided to bring you guys some content about the soaps, and we got it done.
Yay! We're going to start the week off right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, you guys. So on the way out, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. In the group, you probably seen me post other videos. Y&R Unfiltered is one of the channels, and the other channel is The Shade and the Beautiful. So if you happen to see those, you will find BTG recaps and Y&R recaps on those two channels. So if you see those, that's coming from me, and it's things that I've kind of outsourced because I know this is a bold majority channel that I'm on right now. So I'm still talking soaps about Y&R and BTG. Based on the fact that, a lot of you guys are here for that, but majority of my analytics on this channel is bold and beautiful, and that's fine. But I also wanted to make sure that you guys got content for Y&R specifically. So that's Y&R Unfiltered is a Y&R dedicated channel. And The Shade and the Beautiful is a BTG. You probably are going to eventually see sisters over there, and maybe one other one, I'm not sure. So that's a dedicated channel for BTG. All right, so you want to talk your trash about Y&R? It's all about Y&R only. All right, so that's Y&R Unfiltered and The Shade and The Beautiful. All right, you got anything else, Bree?
I think I'm all set. You guys have a great rest of your Sunday night. It's back to Monday again.
Yes, tell me about it. Back to work. All right, you guys have an amazing night, and we will see you later. Bye, Soapies.
Night, guys.